We just got the latest advisories in from the National Hurricane Center, both on Humberto and Imelda. As Humberto weakens, Imelda is strengthening. Imelda becoming a hurricane earlier this morning. It's now an 80-mile-an-hour hurricane with still the forecast for it to reach that Category 2 status. You're looking at the latest stats that were just given by the NHC with that movement still toward the northeast at 7 miles an hour. That pressure down to 980 millibars. And while we're still seeing that outer rain band effect for the southeast, notably the low country of South Carolina and parts of North Carolina, the core of Imelda is continuing to organize. It's a powerful cyclone and will become even more powerful. We've already had winds. There have been some buoys that we've seen out in the western Atlantic, gusts close to tropical storm force. But when you look at a hurricane, you might see how it's showing on infrared satellite and think it's not really looking all that organized. Hurricane hunters, though, according to the NHC, they have been investigating the storm, and that low-level structure, that low-level circulation is continuing to organize. And even when you look at enhanced satellite and you look at the past few frames, certainly an indication that some of those storms are even stronger around the core. But what's been so fascinating to see has been how Imelda and Humberto are interacting. And you see how it's almost looking lopsided, where there's way more activity, convection on the western side as opposed to the eastern side. This in part could be due to what Humberto's doing as it's ventilating and continuing its weakening phase. But overall, as we pay attention and closely watch, there probably won't be too many changes between now and a likely landfall of Hurricane Imelda over Bermuda. Coming up this hour, we will have a live report from Bermuda. Our Haley Meyer is there. But you're looking at the different timestamps. Sometime early Thursday morning or late Wednesday night, the expectation is for this to strengthen into a Category 2 hurricane. We're looking at Wednesday morning and Thursday morning, both of those featuring a 90-mile-an-hour hurricane. But after or in between this, we'll probably have a landfall. If not, it'll be Imelda's closest approach that it makes to Bermuda. Bermuda now under a hurricane warning as well. All that means is that within the next 36 hours, we're expecting hurricane conditions, hurricane force winds. It's a very unique setup that we have, though, because we can't talk about Imelda without talking about Humberto, which is currently affecting Bermuda. So with that said, we'll be watching. Honestly, if you thought that this was a quiet season, looking at a satellite image like we've been seeing may give you a double take. We've had two hurricanes finding that fuel and Bermuda in the crosshairs. We want to bring in Fox Weather hurricane specialist Bryan Norcross now. Bryan, looking at the latest advisory, and perhaps as expected, as one is weakening, another is strengthening, but both still hurricanes.
Yeah, both still hurricanes, and it's just very unusual to have storms this close back-to-back affect the same land area, but that's happening in Bermuda. They're getting the outer bands of Humberto right now, and then just going to be tomorrow that they're going to get Imelda, which looks to be clearly the worst storm, and exactly how bad it is still open to question, because Bermuda is such a small little place, and the part of Imelda that is really, really strong is relatively small. And for those two to come together in the middle of the vast ocean, really, you have to be pretty unlucky, but it definitely could happen tomorrow night. All right, look at the two storms out there, and it's just so rare that you see storms this close that are, well, about 400 miles apart or so. And here you can see Imelda, and we're going to look at this closer up in a second. And it's so, again, so lucky. Remember, Aaron, we talked about how it just missed everything. This is just missing. The outer bands that are very strong are offshore of both Florida and the Carolinas, because there's a front in between Imelda and the Carolina coast. And this one here is just far enough offshore that you can see it's going to loop up north of Bermuda for the most part. And the worst of of this is offshore of land. All right, let's take a look at the new advisory on Hurricane Imelda, 80-mile-an-hour winds, and it's strengthening pretty significantly and pretty quickly, even though you don't really see it so much on the satellite picture. But these storms over here, the cell you see that's rotating around the west side is very, very strong and increasingly strong. As the Hurricane Center said, that might even be a conservative number. When they go back and look at the data, they may bump that up to 85. You see 980 millibars, but the good news is here, they're moving northeast. Good news for the U.S., good news for the Carolinas, because it's moving parallel to the coast. And you can make out here, look where the clouds kind of flatten out up in here. That's where the front is. So all the moisture that's spreading north of the storm above the front is in the colder area. It's more a misty kind of showery kind of weather, not strong gusty winds. Those strong gusty winds, though, in a band are just south of that front. So it's just, again, we're just super lucky with these things. Here you go with the cone, and there you go, right over toward Bermuda, and you see arriving late in the day tomorrow. So when it says PM there, it means about 8 p.m. Eastern Time or Atlantic Standard Time. And when we look close up here at the models, there you see they agree with the cone for the most part. There are a couple of kind of rogue ones, but generally right in there in the cone. And most of them go north of Bermuda. Well, north of Bermuda is the strong side of the storm is over Bermuda. Remember, the winds come around like this. So on the right side of the track, that's when where the strongest winds are. But again, the business part of the hurricane is around the eye, and that's relatively small. So it doesn't have to miss by a whole lot to keep it offshore, but we're just going to see. There, by the way, is the Google AI model, and you see Bermuda right there in the middle of the pack of lines, so it's going to be a close call. And here you see back here Humberto with the Google AI output. We see both the storms. All these lines up here, there as Humberto kind of comes apart here, it becomes very uncertain exactly what's going to happen. If it becomes detached from the upper level system and becomes weak, so just don't look at those. So what counts is this pack of lines right here, that's related to Imelda. All right, here is Humberto. It's an 80-mile-an-hour hurricane now, so it's in the weakening stage. And here you can see the center of it right there, and the upper level winds are kind of tearing it apart. But the upper level winds that are up in here are also going to, in some sense, enhance the strength of the storm downstream as it becomes non-tropical. So, but that's going to be out in the ocean way out there. And they also will enhance Imelda when it gets in that vicinity a little bit. That's why Imelda is forecast to intensify. So here's the radar out of Bermuda from the Bermuda Met Service, and you see they're gusting there up to 31 right now. It looks like that line, that outer band from Humberto. This is from Humberto now, remember, not Imelda. We'll see Imelda on this radar here tomorrow. Here is passing by the island. But there you can see the island is right there. It's relatively small in the middle of the vastness of the central Atlantic or the west central Atlantic. All right, here's the cone for Humberto. Humberto, as you saw, even right now with the center over here, is producing that outer band over Bermuda, so it's a good-sized storm. And as it rotates this way, that same diameter is going to kind of go around the island, so they're going to be under what they get here today. But you saw winds in that distant outer band only gusting to 30, 35 miles per hour. So the main effect on the U.S. is going to be this situation at the beach. Anybody thinking about going to the beach? Now, I know in the Carolinas the weather is kind of miserable, but in a lot of the coast, in Florida, it's beautiful at the beach, and in the Northeast, it's going to be beautiful at the beach. But this energy coming from these two hurricanes are up against the coast from Cape Hatteras all the way down to Miami. Right now, now, this is today, now watch as we go forward in time here, as the two hurricanes are just offshore, sending energy back at the coast. Look at this high energy, these waves up to 12 to 15 feet offshore, all the way from New England, all the way down to the Palm Beaches in Florida. So as the weather improves, as these storms move away, and the whole coast gets nice weather coming up, then this is going to be a big deal at the coast. I'm afraid we're going to have a lot of rip current rescues and so forth if people aren't careful along that coastline. So that's, as far as the U.S. is concerned, as far as we're concerned, that's the big threat, and we hope people pay attention to that. Stephen?
It's a wild thing to watch two of these hurricanes as we speak almost decouple, one weekend decay, and over Bermuda, all this very well could be happening. I mean, I know the forecast, Bryan, calls for a Category 2 to be over Bermuda by sometime late tomorrow night into early Thursday morning. It just seems to me that this won't be a traditional landfalling hurricane as we consider it because of Humberto.
Well, they have to be, to get a landfall in Bermuda, it happens. We've seen it happen. I mean, a number of times. I remember Igor was just amazing that this big old hurricane and the eye, which is this relatively tiny part of this huge hurricane, right, happened to go over that little tiny island. I mean, it's just crazy that it happens. And we'll see. It just doesn't have to miss by much that it makes a dramatic difference on whether they get a 100-mile-an-hour hurricane or they get a 50-mile-an-hour tropical storm with a slight wobble with a small island like that. It's going to be tomorrow night, tomorrow evening, when it looks like the worst of it is going to be in the vicinity there. Yeah,
I'm going to be about a wild 12 hours, but it's certainly going to be zipping across. All right, appreciate the analysis. Fox Weather Hurricane Specialist Bryan Norcross for us dissecting those advisories. Thank you, Bryan.